Most people are worried about the future because they were taught to be afraid of it. From the moment you enter school, you're trained to think linearly, study hard, get good grades, get a safe job, work for 40 years, and hope the future takes care of you. That system programs fear. It teaches you that the future is something that happens to you, not something you design. So when the world changes, when technology shifts, when economies shake, people panic. They worry because the one thing they relied on, security, was never real to begin with. Don't worry about the future, because worrying assumes you have no control. Worry is the language of people who believe their life is managed by someone else. Employers, governments, markets, inflation, recessions, these become monsters in their imagination. But the truth is, the future has always been uncertain. There's never been a safe time in history. What changed is that people stopped taking responsibility for their own financial education and handed it over to institutions that don't care about their freedom. When people say they're worried about the future, what they're really saying is, I don't understand money. They're saying, I don't know how cash flows, how assets work, how debt can be used, or how systems reward those who think differently. Fear grows in the absence of knowledge. Confidence grows when you see patterns others don't. The future stops being scary when you realize it's just a continuation of decisions being made today. The biggest lie ever sold is that a paycheck equals safety. A paycheck is just evidence that you're dependent. If that paycheck stops, your life stops. That's not security, that's fragility. And fragile people worry about the future because they know one small shock can collapse everything. What? Layoff, one illness, one market shift. That fear is logical if your foundation is weak. Strong foundations don't worry about storms, they prepare for them. The future doesn't belong to people who memorize facts. It belongs to people who understand. Systems, schools teach you what to think, not how to think. They teach obedience, not curiosity. They reward conformity, not creativity. And then they send you into a rapidly changing world and tell you to be realistic. Realistic is just another word for limited by past thinking. Don't worry about the future, because the future is being built by people who are learning faster than you. Either you join them or you stay afraid of them. Technology doesn't destroy jobs. It destroys obsolete thinking. Automation doesn't kill opportunity. It exposes those who never upgraded their skills. The future isn't dangerous, it's selective. People who worry about the future usually cling to the past. They want things to go back to normal. But normal was never designed to make you rich or free. Normal was designed to keep you busy. Normal was debt, long hours, and delayed dreams. Why would you want that future anyway? Instead of worrying, ask better questions. How does money actually move? Why do the wealthy buy assets while everyone else buys liabilities and calls them investments? Why do some people see crises as discounts while others see them as disasters? Those questions turn fear into curiosity, and curiosity into power. The future rewards those who understand leverage. Not just financial leverage, but mental leverage, time leverage, and network leverage. Employees trade time for money. Owners trade systems for money. Investors trade knowledge for money. That's why worrying is a waste of energy. It produces nothing. Learning produces assets in your mind that no one can take away. When inflation rises, the poor panic and save cash. The rich understand that cash is being punished. When markets crash, the fearful sell in pain, while the prepared buy with confidence. Same future, different education. Same events, different outcomes. The difference isn't luck, it's literacy. You don't need to predict the future to be ready for it. You need flexibility. You need multiple streams of income. You need assets that work whether you're awake or asleep. The future doesn't reward effort alone, it rewards direction. You can work harder than anyone and still end up broke if you're running in the wrong direction. Most people worry because they're dependent on one source of income and one set of skills. That's a dangerous place to stand in a fast-moving world. The future belongs to generalists who think like specialists and specialists who think like owners. It belongs to people who learn about money, business, and investing not from fear, but from curiosity. Fear of the future is often disguised as responsibility. People say, I'm just being cautious. No, you're being conditioned. True responsibility is preparing yourself so you don't have to worry. True responsibility is building assets, not excuses. The future doesn't care about your feelings. It responds to your preparation. Complaining about the economy won't change it. Blaming politicians won't grow your income. Hoping for stability won't create freedom. But learning how money works will think about this. Every major shift in history created massive wealth for someone. Wars, depressions, technological revolutions, all of them destroyed old models and rewarded new thinkers. The people who worried were the ones emotionally attached to outdated systems. The people who won were the ones who adapted early. If you're worried about the future, it's because you've been trained to seek comfort instead of competence. Comfort is expensive. Competence pays dividends forever. The future doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be prepared. People ask, what if things get worse? My question is, what if you get better? What if you become more financially educated, more adaptable, more aware? The future looks very different from that perspective. You don't build confidence by watching the news. The news profits from fear. You build confidence by reading financial statements, understanding balance sheets, and seeing how businesses actually create value. The future is built on numbers, not opinions. Most people are worried about retirement because they're planning to stop working instead of planning to stop needing money. That's backward thinking. Financial freedom isn't about age, it's about assets. The future becomes less scary when your income doesn't depend on your physical presence. Don't worry about the future. If you're investing in your mind, markets go up and down, currencies rise and fall, but your financial intelligence compounds. Once you see how money really works, you can operate in any environment. The future doesn't punish failure, it punishes refusal to learn. Mistakes are tuition, losses are lessons. Only those who quit stay afraid forever. Every crisis exposes who was pretending and who was prepared. Worry is a signal that you've outsourced your power. Take it back. Learn, experiment, build. Fail small so you don't fail big. The future is not something to fear, it's something to position yourself for. And positioning doesn't come from worry, it comes from action taken today, quietly, consistently, while everyone else is distracted by noise. People who worry about the future often say, I'll start when things are stable. Stability is an illusion. Growth happens in motion. The future favors momentum, not waiting. You don't need certainty to move forward. You need direction. You don't need guarantees. You need skills. The future belongs to those who prepare, while others hesitate. Money is a language. If you don't speak it, the future will always sound threatening. Once you do, you'll realize the future has been giving signals all along. Most people just never learned how to listen. The future is being written every day by people who decided not to worry, but to learn, to adapt, to invest, and to think differently. The question isn't whether the future will be hard. The question is whether you'll be ready. And readiness doesn't come from fear. It comes from understanding, from courage, and from taking responsibility for your financial life instead of handing it over to a system that was never designed to make you free.